Okay, so now we have officially started. Today we're going to be talking about different types of food. Different types of food, if you eat clean, if you know what that means, or eating healthy food, or not, or what. So we'll be talking about a lot of different things, about a lot of different things about food today. And I'm really glad that Lucy is here because she's a health expert and tennis in Japan. So I think that's a really good, interesting mix. So between the three of us, we should come up with some pretty good ideas. Basically, these days, eating clean has become very important. And it's actually pretty interesting. I mean, health and exercise now and then are like the cool thing to do. So I find it, different. I mean, years ago, I don't know, I don't think it was such a big deal, or maybe I just wasn't aware of it. But nowadays, eating very clean, which is organic, and so the food is produced without pesticides, and it's healthy for your body. You're not putting any of these pesticides or additives or anything like that into your body. So that's what clean eating is. And that's kind of one of the things that's really popular these days. Here in Europe, I've heard that it's becoming more popular. So it's all over the world, and everyone's exercising more and in shape and things like that. So, Lucia, since you are older than me, but just a couple years, I would like your opinion about maybe 20 years ago. What was this about 20 years ago, the health industry. And you work at a gym, you've worked at a gym for a long time. What can you tell me about health? And since you were a child, younger, wherever, but I mean, has your life been revolved around healthy eating? Did you just one day become really interested in it? So a little bit about your story there, if you don't mind.
I think that nowadays it's worse and better at the same time. I mean that 20 years ago, I think food. I I I speaking about Italy, of course. I think that our food was more healthy. Instead, today there are a lot of junk food, uh, but I think it's both because today people are more interested about healthy. Uh, so they try to eat, for example, brown pasta, brown bread, more vegetable fruits, because they know that is healthier. Or eat, for example, white meat instead red meat because globalization, because it's healthier. Um, 20 years ago, all junk food didn't exist. I mean, I for a break, I ate a slice of bread with sugar and yes, a little butter and sugar, or cakes that my mom made for us, and now you mothers that don't have more time, and maybe are a little bit lazy to make cakes for children. And yeah, I think 20 years ago was more healthy. I'm quite sure. But now people are aware about danger mm, from bad food.
Okay, so you think that you ate healthier as a child? I think that's interesting. But was your sugar the normal sugar, or was it the pure sugar? You know, that has an effect as well, but um, interesting. Yes?
I choose for my family brown sugar. Actually, I choose sugar from Thailand. Yes, country like that. Um, it's an example.
All right, interesting. Good. Okay, well, thank you. Let's go to Ken because Ken, you started off in the class. So if you'd like to talk a little bit of the health, things that you talk about maybe at school in Japan. I
Okay.
know in the United States, we talked about it, but I don't think it was really applied that much. So is it very important in Japan, and things like that? Okay.
Yes, talking about school food here, uh, elementary school and junior high school, middle school offer the, how can I say, set menu lunch for all kids. But it's not free actually. But they prepare it for the good, uh, maybe it's not a business, so it's a kind of cheap, reasonable price for parents, and also professional nutrition, calculate the nutritious balance. So uh, some 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 people say it is good for all kids because in the family, some family eat this kind of food only, but maybe nutritious balance is not good. So or as Lucia said, fast food, kind of thing, a snack and kind of thing. But at the that school lunch, they can eat a variety of kind of food or I mean ingredients, and the but compare with my childhood. When I noticed when I went to the middle school for my teaching practice, when I was a kid, bread was almost all school were eating bread. So they offer three pieces bread or three slices of bread or two slices of bread. So students can adjust how to eat, how much they eat. So, but nowadays, the school offer the rice in a box. So the portion of the rice is not so much. So I'm an adult person, but even I don't need to eat much food now because I'm not growing up. So, but that period, mid school kids, some kids require a lot of food after calorie. But I thought it is not in the portion is not in rice is not enough for some kids actually. That's a problem current school lunch. I guess yes, I noticed.
Okay, good. And in Japan, I'm going to put up the stereotype. Is there obesity? Is that a problem? Do you talk about it?
Yes, but compare with sorry for America, maybe percentage of obesity is not so
It
many,
is
but
what it
it is
is.
getting more. But it is getting more because many kids or many people are addicted to the snack or fast food kind of thing. So yeah.
I actually read something, and this was in an English book here, so I never know if it's true or not, but I've heard that in Japan, I'm really sure it was Japan, that they have a tax law on unhealthy food. So, for example, if you want to buy a candy bar, it's really expensive. Is that true?
As far as I know, I don't think so. The candy bars is pretty. Some candy bars pretty cheap, and junk food is in general is not so expensive. But I don't know. Maybe some local law require such kind of thing. But as a national law, I've never heard of such kind of laws here.
Okay. Because it was talking about about food, obviously, and healthy food, and that healthy food in the United States, for example, is very expensive, and um, not
Oh yeah.
unhealthy food is very cheap. And so we had the conversation of, do you think that's right? Should that be? What if it is more expensive to produce healthy, really clean, healthy food? How do you, in general, do you make really healthy food expensive? Do you not? So,
Yeah, eating healthy also costly actually. So maybe result of research Korea shows the income and fast food addictive kind of thing. Because buying organic food or non-pesticide food costs much than buying ordinary food. So I always searching for the how can I say compromising. I want to eat healthy, but also it's costly. So yeah, sometimes I go to the supermarket late and to find a half price discount food or something like that. Yeah,
okay,
or
good.
vegetables.
Good. All right. Well, thank you. So wonderful. So hi, Ismail. People keep coming in and out. I'm having a hard time keeping track of who's here. Um, let's see. The one with the phone number looking hasn't told me your name yet, but if you'd like to comment, you can. Ismail, I did mute you because Ken was speaking. But Ismail, if you would like to comment, today we're talking about food and healthy food and things like that. Would you like to talk about anything I mean, you're from Turkey because I know you, but would you like to talk about any food, maybe society that people think about? Do you eat unhealthy food, things like that? And you are muted, so I can't hear if you speak right now. Maybe I'll unmute you. Hold on.
Sorry, you asked me anything, something, I think.
Yes. What do you think about food in Turkey? Because I know that you're from there. What do you think? Do you eat healthy food? Do you not eat healthy food? Is, one more expensive than the other? We're just talking about food today. So,
Thank you very much for this lesson. Uh, I will not choose any food, but it's important for me. It must be healthy. It, it must be healthy for me because I like every food. It depends on only healthy food, natural food. I don't like inefficient, not natural. If it is not natural, I don't like. It depends only for me. It's healthy. It must be healthy because my occupation, my job, and also I like sport. I make sport every time. It's important, healthy. It's enough for me now. Okay, Rebecca.
okay, great. So that's true, but there's sometimes that you have to eat unhealthy food, I'm sure. Does that happen that you ever want unhealthy food, Ismail?
Sorry.
Does it happen sometimes that you want to eat unhealthy food?
I didn't understand very well. Sound going, coming, not good. I can't understand.
Okay, I'm going to write it for you.
Thank you.
Do you want to eat unhealthy food sometimes? Okay, that's something spelled wrong there, I think. Unhealthy. Ah.
Uh, yes. I don't
I
like
knew it.
unhealthy. I don't like if it is if that's unhealthy. I don't like every people. For example, I don't like hamburger. I don't like this. Okay.
Okay, all right. Would you eat a hamburger made of turkey or chicken, for example? Let's turkey or chicken. Let's see how it's spelled. Okay, all right. There's my next question for you, Ismail, and then we'll
Yes.
leave.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I would eat. I eat hamburger if I will go. I go my house. There is anything. Uh, suddenly. Suddenly we will go anywhere hamburger, but it depends natural hamburger, local local kitchen someone made good meat. I will prefer like this, not mark like this McDonald's, like burgers. I don't like. Sometimes I eat, but it's important where it will be made. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great. Thank you. Um, let's see.
Sometimes I will prepare in my house. I made myself with my family. It's very good. I will prepare wheat from the butcher. I will make. I will prefer this. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Ismail. I'm going to mute you again so we don't hear any background noise. And so all three of you talked and everyone else has left, which tends to happen. But we can go back to Lucia. You being, a very healthy, active person, what do you think is really necessary? Not that long ago, you explained that proteins from vegetables and proteins from meat have different qualities. Would you like to explain that a little more today? It's something that I didn't know, and so I always thought vegetarians were fine, they were getting protein, and come to find out they're missing some type of protein, right, Lucia?
Do you mean that the quality of different kind of proteins? I mean,
Yeah.
vegetable proteins or animal
Meat.
proteins, meats or proteins, of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Correct.
I think maybe Dr. Ismail can explain better than me that in my opinion, human body needs both proteins. I mean, we are human. We are need all kind of protein, vegetable or animal, and I prefer About meat, I prefer white meat, but I like red meat, but I choose to eat less red meat. And yes, also protein, vegetable seed, for example. I don't know, beans, for example, lentils. These are vegetable protein, and they are healthy and good and tasty. So I need human body needs all of these kind of protein. Human body needs everything, and in right measure, without excess, not too much.
Okay, good, perfect. Ken, do you have any comments about this? The differences between proteins, do you know anything? Or you've talked about, you said earlier before class that when you choose something to eat, you think about the vitamins, the minerals, the proteins. So why don't you talk a little bit about that and how you decide what to eat, how to cook it maybe, things like that.
Yes, actually, the Japanese, since it's an island nation, so in the past, fish mainly was eaten. So eating meat was rare and maybe only the special occasion. Or some people don't eat meat at that time. But nowadays, food habit changed, especially these 50 or 60s, years, over 100 years. 100 years ago, Western comes and they introduce, Western food. So we, Japanese culture intake a lot of foreign things. So, and added it in our own way. So, kind of protein, maybe in the past, some Japanese suffer from a lack of protein actually, because if it is a mountainside, fish are not so taken, so they cannot maybe fish so much. So mainly traditional food here maybe made of vegetables or soybean or such kind of food and fish. So and I heard the protein type is different fish and meat and also the type of meat and egg has maybe the very balanced protein was are included in one egg. So I'm trying to intake an egg per a day because the problem of eating egg has a lot of cholesterol. So uh, I'm not so young anymore, so I also careful about high cholesterol. So, but anyway, I intake protein from egg in the morning and also milk. But I don't have a lactose tolerance, so I'm not a lactose tolerant, so I'm taking milk from how can I say liquid yogurt. And lunch and dinner, I try to intake fish and meat, yeah, each day. So yeah, that's how. What is the difference between between the protein? Yes, in my opinion.
Okay, great. Oops, oops, sorry. Oh, sorry, my mute button wasn't working. Good, that's interesting. And you know what? I know that there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Would anyone like to talk about that? That's something I actually don't really know much about, and I should probably start worrying about it as I'm also getting older. But anyone, Lucy, Ismail, I mean, Ken, even you, Lucy is volunteering, Ismail, about good protein and bad protein, cholesterol.
I, sorry, yeah, and yeah, that I think it's a matter of balance, but it is said cholesterol in the meat, uh, some cholesterol is bad, but cholesterol in the fish, some cholesterol is good, or nuts. Nuts and fish has a good cholesterol, but in general,
Mm-hmm.
meat doesn't have such that chemical.
Interesting. Okay. Any other comments out there about cholesterol? Ismail, I don't know if you can hear me very well. Yeah. Oops. 1 second here. It's not. My computer's a little bit slow today, to tell you the truth. And it's just on here. It was fine otherwise. And we'll see if Ismail would like to talk to us about cholesterol. I put up the picture as I said I was going to put up a picture, so you weren't staring at me all day.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ismail. Perfect.
Yeah. Simon asked to be about to talk about cholesterol. I think cholesterol is very important for blood vessels for human. I know. Can can you hear me? Sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. Mister. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Uh, my patient come generally come in my hospital. They want to know how my cholesterol in the blood. I saw if they are not working much time. They are not. They don't make sport, working, don't working. If they are they has a sedentary life, it's important for guys. I, I, I saw there's blood very high, the cholesterol. I say then you should walk. You should walk step in the gym, in the street, in life. It's it will be lost in the blood. Cholesterol is very bad. Okay, fine. You understand me?
Yes, I did. That was perfect. Thank you
Ah,
very much.
in the picture, I saw very well green thing and white, for example, chicken, egg, apple, and the all green thing is
Mm-hmm.
very good. But I saw bread. Bread is
Mm-hmm.
not good. Bread is not good. Uh, but I eat very much because my habit. Uh, my habit is bread is very important in life. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yes, okay. As a milk, I saw milk. Milk is very important. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
every time in the morning I eat egg. Is very important in my life. I eat very, much time and many egg I eat. Okay.
Okay, great. And that's actually interesting because here in Spain, they don't think that eggs should be for breakfast. And me being from the United States, it is breakfast. So it's interesting to hear that both of you, well, you and Ken Ismail, eat eggs for breakfast as well. That's good to know that I'm not the the strange ones. Eggs is very good. Perfect. I do like eggs. Is there a perfect way to eat an egg? Is it hard boiled or is it scrambled? What's the healthiest way to eat eggs?
Uh, without without fire, without oil. You understand me? I can't understand. I can't explain how to
Uh-huh. Yeah,
boil in
not
the boil in water boil. It's good. What does boil? Yes, yes. Not fry the egg. Yes, it's not good. Boil is uh, very good boy. I prefer boy.
okay. So are you talking about hard-boiled eggs where, you take off the shell
Not important.
or
Not important. Near or hard. Not important. Uh, boy is good than the others. I think. Okay.
okay, good. So can we call in English it's scrambled. Can you make scrambled eggs with water? Is that what you're talking about? You can make any types. You can, flip the egg. I'm probably using grammar or words that we're not familiar with, but um, all right. Well, interesting. I suppose that's true. I hadn't thought of that. Let's see, Medina. You're from Egypt, so that's also a different part of the world. And Medina, would you like to speak about different, maybe food habits that you have in Egypt, or things that you do, healthy foods, non-healthy foods? And you are mute, Medina, so we cannot hear you right now. Mhm. Okay. Maybe we'll see if she would like to talk with us. Until then, let's see. Kind of like to see if she's going to respond. But I think all this information is actually really helpful. I think it's, good for everyone to know. And there's things that, I know what's healthy and what's not healthy. But, they seem to change things. For example, years ago, soy milk was very healthy, and now you should be limiting your soy milk. So it's kind of there's a phrase in English, don't eat too much of a good thing or don't do too much of a good thing. I think what we need is variation, we need variety, and basically to eat a little bit of everything, and that's including bread. It does have grains, which I believe are healthy. um, so I think we should eat a little bit of everything in moderation. Any comments on that? Lucia, do you like bread? Is bread good for you? Depending on if it's probably whole wheat, I'm assuming.
I agree with that. Absolutely. You need to eat everything, vegetable, meat, seeds, fish, yes, everything, and the right balance. And usually, I uh, I do uh, five how can, how can I call that? I
Yeah,
eat
small.
five time per day. I mean breakfast, break, lunch, another break, dinner. Yes, yes, five small meals, and this is, I think, the best way to live because eating several times can your metabolism
Mm-hmm.
it's run over. It's the only way to do metabolism go on. I mean, if you don't eat, your metabolism stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the bad thing because if you, for example, if you try to lose your weight, you have to eat several times per day, of course, not too much.
Mm-hmm.
The right things, and yeah, this is the only way.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people decide to not eat when losing weight,
No,
but it's absolutely the wrong thing. That's the worst thing
yeah,
you can do.
because your metabolism stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Don't burn calories. So the better way is eating healthy, doing out if
Mm-hmm.
possible, and yes, that's it.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Ken, do you have anything to add to this? Anything about, you said the Western food kind of came into your world and changed
Mhm.
some things. Do you
Yeah.
have any comments?
Yeah, vice versa, nowadays American arranged, or not only American, our people arranged sushi. Some sushi is very new type, and we began to eat such sushi. For example, salmon. It was not the ingredient of sushi, but nowadays, it's worldwide eaten, and Japanese like. Maybe one of the most popular sushi is salmon sushi. And I also heard the doctor here, and since we are eating the kind of vegetable, fish-based food, low-calorie food, so our body is vulnerable of high calorie and high cholesterol food. So that means Japanese people tend to suffer from diabetes if we eat high calorie or high cholesterol food or some other disease. So maybe eating habits also reflect our not the gene but our body type also. So maybe to change food, it happen if it is gradually happen. It might that problem is not happening, but we change the food habits very maybe just 100 years period. So maybe it caused some problem of that health issue. So my parents both suffered diabetes. So I might have genes of diabetes, but it's type of diabetes. Some diabetes genes is not does not defect, just eating habit defect. So, but anyway, I'm careful about that now.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's, something you have to be careful of. My mother is also diabetic and has been for many, many years. So that's something that I also need to worry about now getting older. It's not very fun having to be careful with everything you eat. So we'll try and not do that. Okay, so barbecue. Okay, meat or something. So burning. Interesting. Well, that's unfortunate because I love burnt meat. I love when it's crispy. So that's interesting. Is there a reason behind that, Ismail? I've heard it's bad as well, but I do enjoy it. But why? What's in it? Is it... Lucia, do you know more information?
I know that the smoke that the coal produced is dangerous for health.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
what happens if you make like a really lean, a very healthy steak in a frying pan with a little bit of oil and it burns? Why is that then bad? Because that's not coal then, it's a gas stove maybe.
Mm-hmm. We use, for example, a grill, for example, electric grill,
Mm-hmm.
maybe could be less dangerous than coal. But yes, coal, it's it's more.
Dangerous?
Yeah, it is better. Of course, barbecue is the best.
Yeah,
Kind,
it is.
yeah. But I know it's not very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one time, every 2 months you can eat.
Every 2 months? Okay, well, I don't eat it that often even,
Yeah.
so that would be nice.
Yeah. Not too frequently.
Okay, good. Well, good to know as well. Because we have about 10 minutes left, a little bit less. Does anyone have any final comments? Anything that you'd like to share with us? Any information? Medina, you are also welcome to speak if you would like. So I'll leave the floor open a little bit here. And so if you'd like to comment about anything, um, any ideas? Otherwise, there is another thing I've heard, and Ken, this is kind of directed at you, that the Japanese don't drink milk, therefore they do not get cancer. Is that true? I heard this from someone who went to a health place, a health foods place, very unnatural. So,
I think now the Japanese drink milk. Yeah, maybe portion is less than maybe Americans or European, but we do eat milk. But in my case, after I grew up, maybe I became a lactose intolerance. So maybe it's a genetic problem. Some people, uh, maybe half Japanese doesn't have a kind of enzyme to digest milk something. So after they grew up, the similar symptom happened. So that's why I shift from milk to the liquid yogurt. Yogurt is okay for me. But however, cancer, maybe bowel cancer is increasing. I think some doctors said it's related to we intake more cholesterol, not only milk, but also maybe intaking cholesterol is getting more than ever. I think that's a problem of the especially in the bowel cancer.
mhm.
So yeah,
Interesting. Well, I hadn't thought of the enzyme. I just heard that less Japanese drink milk, so it's always funny what you hear. And yeah, Lucia, the soy milk, I've heard that soy milk is really good for you, but at the same time, I've I also do know someone who has cancer now because she drank soy milk for so long. Soy products, I should say. She's lactose intolerant from a very young age, and so for the last 15 years, she said she's been only consuming basically soy products, and it's led to an increase of her estrogen levels, and so it's created cancer in her body. And she's about 30 years old, so she's not very old. So that's why before I was saying a little bit of everything, I think, and then you can be safe. So um, I've actually talked to someone who said, oh well, Lucy and I have had this conversation about maybe oat milk or rice milk. I also drink soy milk sometimes, but I make sure I switch between everything. Would you like to comment, Lucia?
Nowadays, a lot of people suffer of intolerance, especially of milk, cheese, but it's depends from what cow eat. I mean, not for milk because milk. I don't know if I can explain because cows eat bad grass because they are feed of substances that
so it's what the animal eats basically is the problem, right?
Yeah. Yes. Because they eat something bad that yes dangerous for humans. Because when you was born, you drink milk from your mother. Like I fed my children with my milk, and I eat only healthy things because of that. So children can grow up perfectly without any ills, but after that, when you have to choose milk from cows, you could have problems with intolerance or things like that.
That's actually, I hadn't ever thought about that. You're right. And I do know someone who, once she became pregnant, started eating clean. I mean, and her daughter is about 10 years old. So this is, 10 years ago. And she's continued to stick with that diet. She's very active and healthy and has great skin. And so, I think it's just interesting that she thought about it then. But then they don't think about, oh, there I am. They don't think about maybe what the cows eat. And this is a whole nother class. But, what farms do that they, feed or how they treat their animals and things like that. And then, what we actually are eating. And are we sure we actually know what we're eating? And so there's been lots of issues around the world with that. So
when I fed my children, for example, I don't eat garlic because garlic could change the taste of my milk. This is only an example. Yes.
Good to know. Wonderful. Well, we are coming to an end. I thought it was a great class. Lots of good information that's come out. And the class has finally worked from the beginning to the end. So I've finally got this down. I'm very happy about this.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out the calendar. I honestly can't remember. I think writing a business letter, writing something business. Thanks. Check out the calendar on the Intengo website, and hope that I will see you all on Thursday, okay? A little bit earlier than today, so thanks very much. Thanks for those that were watching as well. No one's watching now, but that's just fine. And have a good day, okay?
Good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nice to see everybody, too. All right,
Thank
goodbye.
you, Becky.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye.